Hello, and welcome to our first lecture in interactive advertising. In this lesson, we'll talk about 5 topics: the client-server model, browsers, language types, W3C and HTML history, and the HTML page structure. Let's start with the client-server model. Over 20 years ago, when computers looked as such and as such and as such, they were used for making spreadsheets, for basic word processing. Information was stored in the hard drive of a computer, and there was no connectivity to the outside world. And then what happened? The World Wide Web was launched in 1991. And what is the World Wide Web? In short, the Internet. The World Wide Web is basically a collection of computers that are geographically spread out and connected to a server via the Internet. So this is how it looks like. And the World Wide Web allowed users in different locations to view information on websites via web browsers. So how does the connection of computers to the server happen? Through the client-server model. Basically, imagine the client-server scenario at a restaurant. The client requests the food and the server provides it. In this case, we're talking about computers. The client is the computer that asks, and the server is the computer that responds. So the client is basically a laptop or an iPad or a BlackBerry or an iPhone and so forth, and the server is whoever is responding, basically some computer or some server somewhere. An example of a request could be yahoo.com. So the client sends the request for information, and the server responds to that request. If we type in yahoo.com, the server responds by displaying this page. If we make a mistake and type yahoo.com instead of com, the server responds to the request and says, "Sorry, we can't find yahoo.com," for example. Finally, if we're sending a request at a time where there are too many active sessions, the server responds to that request saying, "You cannot access, try again later," for example. So up until this point in the early 90s, we were able to go online and read the news, for example, or read information about how to apply to MSU and so forth, which means the read-only goal of the internet was so far met. However, later, around 2003, the term Web 2.0 began its rise in popularity. And what does Web 2.0 do? It allows users to interact and collaborate with each other in social media dialogue as creators of user-generated content. Examples of Web 2.0 are web-based email, like Gmail, Yahoo, social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and so forth. So in short, Web 2.0 refers to when end users not only look at a website, but participate and interact with other users by blogging, uploading video, placing a comment, and so forth. So we've come a long way in terms of how computers have developed, from lack of connectivity to read-only websites to Web 2.0 applications in a very short period of time.